I went to school here, actually, University of Phoenix, online, so... Good to be back. I just turned 35, which means I love my parents now. That's pretty new. It takes a while. I guess that's what happens as you get older, you relate to them more. Not that 35 is old, I'm not moving to Florida, but it's different. When I was 20, I was like, I'm invincible, I'll party all night. Now I'm in my 30s, I'm like, I can't leave the house, I had too much dairy. I used to try to fix shit. I'd be like, oh, my neck hurts, I'll go to the chiropractor. Now I'm like, I just won't look left, that's fine. I don't live in London, it's not important. Nice to be out of the house, although quarantine wasn't that bad for me. I don't want to brag, but I wasn't allowed near public parks before any of this, so not too different for me, but... with all this extra time on my hands, I thought it's a perfect opportunity to reach out to some friends I haven't talked to in a while, so I called this girl from high school who was like, not even if we were the last people on Earth. Did you read the news? It's almost time. A lot of protests going on. I saw one sign at a protest that said racism is the worst virus. I was like, oh, that's a good one. I think racism and coronavirus have a lot in common, right? Because some of us only have a little bit of it. You can give it to other people without knowing it, and your grandma will probably die with it. It's a weird one to clap for, but I appreciate it. Just a joke enthusiast, a purist, as I like to call it. I'm not out there protesting. I wish I was. I just have a pre-existing condition. I am a giant pussy. So, getting into the way of things. But I'm doing my part from home. I'm typing all my Facebook statuses in all caps. That way, people know I mean business. I like trying to have discussions on Facebook, but it always turns to an argument. I was arguing with this guy, I asked him for proof. And he sent me to a website called freedomfiction.com. I was like, wow, the name seems suspicious, but the logo is a bald eagle with an AR-15. Who can you trust anymore? It's hard to get mad at him. I mean, it's hard to find reliable news coverage right now because they keep tear gassing the reporters, but right? Every day is a news story. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, wear a mask again. You're an asshole if you don't wear a mask. Trump said he's not going to wear a mask, but instead he's going to stay 6 feet away from any responsibility. So, a lot of this racial tension too, and I think I accidentally discovered how it feels to be black. I walked into a Whole Foods without my mask, and people lost their shit. People are following me and filming me. Call the police, he's gonna kill everybody. Oh, shit. I turned down an aisle, they just run the other way. Oh, this is what that's like. I don't know if that joke works for black people yet, but I think we're going to find out anytime soon. Oh, boy. Oh, is there... alright. I don't know. It feels like whenever a major event like this happens, people pick a side immediately, and then they spend the rest of their life defending that point of view before any facts even come out, right? So I got 2 tips for everybody as they're reading the fake news out there. You got 2 things to keep in mind, right? Number 1, remember, always keep an open mind, right? And number 2, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, okay? Yeah. Right. Look, you want to argue opinions, we can argue, but that's a fact. I'm not gonna... I love conspiracy theories. I was at an airport, I saw a guy with a t-shirt on that said 9/11 was an inside job. I was like, why would you wear that in an airport? You're asking for extra attention. You know what else is an inside job? Cavity searches. I did read one study that says CBD might help with immunity to coronavirus, actually. Yeah, that's just my study. I'm just smoking a bunch of weed, but I feel great, so I think there's something to that. I learned, though, you can overdose on marijuana. It's not lethal, you're not gonna die, but like, the other night a helicopter flew so low, it shook my entire house. I was like, they're probably dropping chemicals on us. And then I was like, that's too much pot. I think like I hit the limit. Crazy times, right? People were hoarding groceries for a while, which was insane. I had plenty of toilet paper, thankfully, but my grocery store ran out of almond milk, which is tough. Because regular milk causes me to use too much toilet paper. So. Corey wrote that part of the joke, so he'll be laughed at least one thing he said tonight, so that's good. One nice thing about being forced to quarantine was I didn't have to lie to my parents about what I did during the day anymore, you know? They just called me up like, hey, how was your day? I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. What'd you do? Fucking nothing. I just sat around, wrote some jokes. I didn't even leave the house. I'm like, we're so proud of you! You're keeping us alive. I don't know, I tried to keep a routine while I was locked down. That way I didn't go crazy. Just treat every day like it's a normal day. Like I would set an alarm before bed, and then first thing in the morning, I wake up, I take the gun out of my mouth, I brush my teeth, just try to keep everything. It's fine. I'm not sad anymore, so it's fine. It's fine. Jesus! Yeah. It's not television. I can hear it. Normally there'd be swaths of people to cover up the laugh. They're all scared of me. I've just been watching Netflix, that's all I do, and it's great. I love watching Netflix, but the hardest part about Netflix is picking out a movie to watch on Netflix. I'll spend more time picking out a movie than the length of the movie that I wasn't sure if I should watch. Could have just watched it and known. Because you gotta pick the right movie for the right situation, you know what I mean? Not a lot of people talk about this. I was Netflix and chilling with a girl one time, and she picked out too good of a movie. So like, halfway through, she started to make her move. I had to be like, hey, get off me. This is an important plot point. There's subtitles, I gotta pay attention. Hey, this won an Oscar. Sorry, Corey, that one didn't work. It worked out the weekend, though, it's pretty good. These people just suck. But, I think they should recategorize movies on Netflix by how much attention you have to pay to the plot line. You want to know what you're getting invested in. Like the bottom of the scale would be like Fast and Furious movies. Oh, Fast and Furious is on. Let me go get my taxes. I can do that. Just every 15 minutes, look up, carry the one. Vin Diesel's winning. That's good. All right. Oh, he's angry. That is not good. The other end of the spectrum would be like Game of Thrones. Oh, Game of Thrones is on. Let me go to the storage unit and get my notes. I got 17 boxes of notes from the previous season. I got a map for my fake TV show. I got a map for... I don't know my own city this well, but I got a map of Neverland or whatever. I did a genealogy chart just to follow along the plot of my favorite television show. They're brother and sister. This show is very weird. I don't think that joke works really. Either genealogy is too big of a word, or you guys didn't pay very close attention to the plot line. My point exactly. Netflix. Oh, Well, we were all locked up. Couldn't do any live comedy, so I did shows online with an app called Zoom, which is basically like Skype, but for business meetings. And basically what you do is you FaceTime 100 strangers, and then that's your audience. And then you tell jokes to your laptop, which is pretty great. And then it goes to space, and then it comes back down. And then they laugh at it, and then it comes back up, and it comes back to you sometimes. And you're like, do I suck, or did you guys mute yourselves? What happened? Doing comedy on Zoom has got to be what alcoholics feel like when they're drinking O'Doul's. Wait a second, this is not close to good. But the other thing might kill me. So, this is good for now. I got invited to a Zoom sex orgy, which is very exciting. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I was thrilled. That's the first orgy I've ever been invited to, but I still have to do all the work. Like, that's not fun. I don't think this online orgy is the way to go. Sometimes the connection gets slow and the screen is fuzzy. Feels like I was watching Cinemax, but my parents wouldn't pay for the channel. Just trying to squint, like, oh, I think you can make out a tit. I think. Plus, it's like 17 squares. I got ADHD. It feels like I'm jerking off to the Brady Bunch intro. Just like, oh, Alice. Trying to get laid in real life. I didn't want to join Tinder because I thought, like, they got enough diseases on there as it is. So I got an account with Farmers Only. Yeah. I was like, they're way out in the country. The virus hasn't even got there yet. This should be fine. My profile was like, hey, my turn-ons include long walks on the beach and holding hands and a 6-month supply of food. And it's the end of times. Every time I match with a girl, I'll go, hey, want to compare eggplants? Huh? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, some of these jokes were tweets, I'll repeat that. Or they just need to spice up their text conversations. Start sexting each other a little bit more. I don't know, I was flirting with this nurse gal for a while. That's always kind of been a fetish of mine. Employed women. You're essential? That's hot. Didn't really work out because the pandemic was really fucking with the sexy nurse fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be red lipstick and low cleavage. Now it's like nice face covering, baby. That's so hot. Is that a garbage bag? Your PPE is next level. But I don't need her anymore. I found someone else to pay my bills for me, and his name is Governor Jay Inslee. That's right. I was on unemployment as a comedian, which is pretty humbling when the government is like, hey, we'll pay you to not tell jokes. I thought it was going pretty well. It was great. Unemployment was the best time of my life. I was getting 80% of my salary as a comedian, but I didn't have to pay for plane tickets or hotels or sex. I was saving so much money. They had a scare, like they stopped paying people for a month of unemployment because Washington State got hacked. I don't know if you guys heard about that. They lost like $100 million, which is crazy. Because now when I get an email from a Nigerian prince, he might actually have my money. A lot of people upset about Confederate statues being taken down, and this one's tough. I see both sides of this issue, because on one hand, the Confederacy only lasted 4 years. That's not really heritage, that's more like a phase you went through in high school. But on the other hand, I had a girlfriend for 3 months that I still write jokes about 3 years later, so I get it. It's hard to get over stuff, you know? She keeps, emailing me, going like, send me back my underwear. I'm like, no, those are monuments to history. All right, thank you guys very much.